In this video, I'm going to show you 3 link building strategies for beginners with a step-by-step process and how you can outsource and scale those strategies to generate tons of backlinks. Keep watching. Hey, what's up marketers? I'm Eduard Dziak from b2bdigitalmarketers.com, the place where you can learn how to level up your digital marketing effectively without spending money on marketing agencies. And if you find this video valuable, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment below and subscribe to my YouTube channel to help me with the YouTube algorithm. If you are just starting a new website, then you shouldn't just wait for links to come naturally, as this could take ages. You need to go out there and build backlinks manually. Remember, if you want to outrank your competitors, you need to have at least as many high quality backlinks and referring domains as your competitors. With that being said, let's get started on how you can use these link building strategies to build a lot of high quality backlinks for your website to outrank your competitors. Before we move to the actual link building strategies, you need to understand the process of link building strategies, because this will help you to better understand them and implement any of the link building strategies. Also, it will help you when you are building backlinks for your website or your clients, as having processes helps you to visualize the range of activities from beginning to end, so you can create a systemized approach to building backlinks. So, almost every link building strategy follows these 4 steps. The first step is prospecting. That is when you are searching for potential prospects you want to get a link from. The second step is vetting. After generating a list of prospects, you will need to vet unqualified and low quality prospects that are not worth the effort. Often, this can be done during the prospecting. The third step is outreach. Once you have completed your list, then it's time to connect with prospects. Typically, this is done via email, but you can also use social media to connect with your prospects as well. And the fourth step is to scale the process. You will need to scale the 3 steps to generate as many high quality backlinks as fast as possible by hiring in-house marketers, freelancers or agencies. So I will be using these 4 steps for the link building strategies to show you exactly how you can apply them to your website from beginning to end. Also, I will share some of the best tips I have learned along the way to generate above average results. The first link building strategy you can use to build a lot of high quality backlinks for your website is guest blogging. Guest blogging, as the name suggests, is content marketing tactic where you are writing blog posts for other websites and publication to acquire backlink and increase the exposure of your brand. This link building strategy is super beginner friendly, and I recommend everybody to constantly search for guest blogging opportunities, especially for those who are just starting out and need quickly build high quality backlinks. For example, Leo Vidrich, the founder of Buffer app, used the guest blogging strategy to acquire 100,000 customers in just 9 months. He wrote around 150 guest posts. So, with that, let's start the 4-step process. To find reputable guest blogging sites is not hard at all, and there are many different techniques you can use to find plenty of guest blogging opportunities. So here are my 4 favorite techniques to find guest blogging prospects. The first technique is to analyze your competitor backlinks to find guest blogging opportunities. Simply take your competitor URL and paste it into any backlink research tool. I am using SEO ranking backlink checker for this. For example, in my niche, this could be backlinko.com. However, if you are not sure, you can run competitive research for your own website using SEO ranking. And the tool gives you a list of your competitors based on the keywords you are competing on. Once I have my competitor URL, I enter it into the backlink checker and hit search. This will give me the full list of backlinks of my competitor domain along with additional helpful information on each backlink. Now I click on the number of backlinks and this will give me the full list of my competitor backlinks. Then I just set some filters such as 1 backlink per domain, only do follow links, as those are the value passing links, and set the domain trust to something high like 40. And now I just scan the list. I recommend you look at the anchor text, as anchors with the brand or guest blogger names often indicate it could be guest post. And within just a few minutes, I have already found guest blogging opportunities such as this one, and there are many more. The second and one of my favorite ways to find guest blogging opportunities is to analyze social media profiles. Simply take any Twitter or LinkedIn profile of a person that is very active in your space and writes a lot of guest posts and enter it into Backlink Checker. For example, Ryan is very active and famous in marketing niche. So I take the URL of his profile and pop that in SEO ranking Backlink Checker and change the setting only for exact URL. And same as before, I will go through the list to find any guest blogging and other link building opportunities. And within just a minute, I've already found a few guest blogging opportunities. The next technique doesn't require any SEO tool, and that's using Google to find guest blogging opportunities. Simply take any of these strings and pop them into Google with your targeted keyword and start searching. If you want these strings, then visit my blog post. And for example, in my case, it could be something like this. And of course, you can modify any of these strings and try different variants. As you can see, each string is just another way to say guest blogging. Also, I recommend you check out this list of queries and strings from Optimize Smart for even more suggestions. You can find the link in the description. And the last and perhaps the easiest technique is to search for a list of sites that accept guest posts. There are countless websites that publish a list of sites that do accept guest blogging on their website. Just pop into Google something like this, a list of sites that accept guest posts and your keyword. And here is an example in the supply chain niche. As you can see, there are countless opportunities waiting for you, so go get them. And remember, I recommend you to always focus on sites within your niche, as the relevancy of the backlink you build matters. Alright, once you have found your prospects, the next part is to evaluate your prospects to ensure you are not wasting your time. Because publishing guest posts takes a lot of your time and resources, and you simply do not want to publish an article on low quality sites. So here are a few things that you should check. The first is domain trust. This is an estimated score of a website overall authoritativeness, which should replicate the page rank. And the higher the number, the more authoritative and link juice it can give it to you. Thus, you want to focus on websites with a domain trust of at least 30 if you are starting, or higher depending on your domain trust as well. The second one is relevancy. Rather than just getting backlinks from any website, you want to focus on websites in your niche. So first, try to focus on a website in your niche and then expand your reach. And the last is do follow or no follow. This tells Google whether the website linking to you wants to be associated with you or not. Thus, if the website puts no follow links to their guest posts, then most likely you will not get the valuable link juice. However, in 2019, Google has changed its policy, and now even no follow links may influence your ranking. Of course, you can go even deeper and consider more things, but at the beginning I recommend you to focus only on these three things. Once you build more backlinks and gain the experience and get the feel of the industry, you'll know better what blogs work the best for you, so you can focus more on them. One last thing I want to share with you. Don't focus on the most authoritative website on your list as a first, and rather you should aim for the mid-range. The reason why is because high authority websites are probably bombarded by guest bloggers every single day, which makes it super hard. That's why first focus on the low and mid-range websites to get some quick and easy wins. And once you have some proof of your guest blogging experience, you can start targeting the more authoritative websites. Once you have vetted your list, the next step is to start with outreach. This is probably the hardest part of link building, and you will face a lot of rejections. But it's okay, as the reward is far greater. First thing first, there are a lot of bad email outreach, and if you are owning a website or have access to email address displayed on your company website, you probably receive something like this. As you can see, this person did not spend even a second to find out who is writing and just wrote very generic "Hi there." Also, this email is clearly a template that has been sent to hundreds or even thousands of people. This method is called the shotgun approach that leads to minimum results and makes you look like spam. Instead, you should aim for more personalized approach. Focus on building relationships, delivering value, and show you are not a spam. Alright, to start with blogger outreach, you need to find an email for the person to contact. In general, I recommend you to find a person in charge of the blog or an author that is working for the company. But this depends if the website provides writing guidelines, where often they provide the email addresses where you should submit your blog post or get in touch with them. However, if they do not provide writing guidelines or anything like that, then you need to find email address of a real person. For example, on my website, you can clearly see who is the author of the blog post and even how you can contact me. Yet I still get emails like this. However, often you will not find any email address in the author box or on the website in general, apart from the generic one like sales@company.com or info@company.com. But in some instances, you can find links to the author's social media, like in this example, and connect with the author over social media. But if you prefer email, then to find an email address, you can use email finding tools like hunter.io. Simply put the name of the author and the company, and it will give you an email address. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but in many cases, you get the real email address of the author. Or you can use the tool to find any email addresses associated with the domain and go from there. Basically, you want to find a real person behind the company logo that can help you or navigate you to the right person. Alright, once you have the email address, the next step is to craft your email. Again, this highly depends on the technique you are using, and there is no defined template on how to go about it. Also, I recommend you to do some research before and find topics that they are missing. The best way is to look at their ranking keywords and find those that do not have a dedicated page to targeted keyword, or do a keyword gap analysis. With that, here are two email templates I use after I have the name, email address, and find their missing keywords or keywords without a dedicated page. And the second template? So, if you like it, take the screenshot and use it. Alright, as you can see from both emails, I'm very personalized. I have done my research, and before I'm asking for something, I'm providing them value by showing valuable keywords that they should be targeting. Remember, before you ask for anything, first offer value. This will rapidly increase your conversion rates and get you guest blogging opportunities even on the most authoritative websites. And the last step of doing link building and guest blogging is to scale it. As you can see, link building strategies take a lot of your time, and guest blogging is not any different. And while at the beginning you will have to do everything alone, later you should think about scaling this process to generate more high quality backlinks. Because without a doubt, guest blogging is one of the best link building strategies to get backlinks for your website, but it also takes a lot of your time. So, while I can't teach you the entire process of scaling the guest blogging because that's a topic for another video, at least I can share with you some of the best tips to get you started. So here are my tips to scale your guest blogging. The first tip is outsource prospecting and vetting steps. These are the easiest steps and can be easily outsourced by freelancers using platforms like Upwork or Fiverr. The second tip is outsource email finding. If you don't have a tools like hunter.io, you can easily outsource that too. Often freelancers have more of these tools. And the last tip is to outsource writing the content. Also, you can outsource the actual writing as well, but avoid using cheap content writing services. Instead, you want to find an actual blogger who knows your industry and has experience in writing content for the industry. This is super important because low quality content can damage your reputation and it's hard to regain it back. So, these are my tips to start scaling guest blogging. Also, often I do not recommend outsourcing the outreach process, as this should be done in-house, as that's when you are building a relationship with a brand or person, and this could be a sure way to burn the bridges if done wrong. The second on our list of link building strategies for beginners is using HARO services. As said on their website, HARO connects journalists seeking expertise to include in their content with sources who have that expertise. They provide you with daily queries that you can answer and earn a backlink if the journalist decides to include your answer. This is one of the easiest ways to get you started with link building, as most of the steps are done for you and basically you only need to answer journalist queries. Prospecting with HARO is as easy as it gets. Just sign up as a source by completing their form. Once you sign up, then select your preferences so you can receive only relevant queries to your niche. And once you complete their form and select your preferences, you will receive 3 times daily, Monday to Friday queries from a journalist based on your preferences. And that's all for prospecting. The next step of the process is vetting. As you might guess, this gets even easier. Simply scan the queries you get from HARO, and when you see any that you like, is relevant to your business, and you have some expertise in it, just click on it. For example, in my case, the number 7, how to identify marketing qualified lead, is relevant to my marketing niche. As you can see, vetting is even easier for HARO, as you just need to scan queries from journalists and find the one you believe you can answer. And once you find the query that is relevant to you and you think you can answer it, just click on it and it will navigate you to the query description and requirements. Here, pay close attention to the deadline and the requirements first. If the query is not expired and you are the person they need, then answer their questions. As you can see, the outreach for HARO link building strategy is super easy as well. And in my experience, the conversion rate is somewhere between 10 to 20%. However, I want to share with you some of the best HARO link building tips I have learned along the way to improve the conversion rate. So, here are my best HARO tips. The first one is increase your credibility. Often the journalists will look at your website, browse the content, look at the About page to make sure you are a credible source. So make sure you have an About page and relevant content on your website. Also, try to add any social proof that shows you or your brand are experienced in the industry. The second one is to provide social media links. Show that you are a real person. Often adding a link to your LinkedIn profile shows you are a real person and they can see you have experiences within the relevant industry. The third tip is to provide relevant link. I like to provide 1 or 2 relevant links to my content based on the journalist topic to show I have already talked about it here. The best links are your guest blog post on a high authority website. The fourth tip is to answer within the first 12 hours. For some reason, I have always seen better conversion when I manage to answer as soon as possible. So, if I need to decide first, I always attend to the fresher queries that are just a few hours old. The next tip is to keep it within 200 words. Journalists want your quote and not the article. Try to answer any of the queries within 200 words. And the last tip is to first focus on outlets you don't have a link from. This is because backlinks from a new domain often influence your ranking more than a repeated backlink from the same domain. So, these are my tips to improve your HARO link building. And now, let's have a look at how you can scale your link building effort using HARO. As you could see, unlike from guest blogging and other link building strategies I will mention, there is not much to do for you when using HARO. Just reply queries as best as you can. But you can use the same trick link building agencies are using for their clients to build editorial links using HARO, but so much cheaper. All you need to do is to get a freelancer on Upwork or Fiverr with experience in your industry to answer HARO queries on behalf of your company. Just create an official email for the freelancer, give them some fancy title that showcase their credibility and expertise, and let them answer the queries. Trust me, some agencies can charge you hundreds of dollars for the exact same thing. But by hiring a freelancer, you can pay like 10 to 20 bucks for every query freelancer answer and give them incentive whenever he or she earn a backlink for your website. The last, very effective and again completely beginner friendly link building strategy is resource link building. Resource link building is the process of finding a website featuring outside resources that are relevant to your niche and getting your site included on that page as one of the resources. And why is this strategy being so effective? Because of 2 things. First, because websites that are creating resource pages are always looking for new resources to include on their website. Thus, they are open to being pitched. And second, often they provide a form to submit your resource or blog, which makes the outreach process super easy, like this one. So without further ado, let's get started with resource link building. Prospecting for resource link building is similar to guest blogging. You need to do some research to find the relevant resource pages for your blog. So let me share with you 2 of my favorite techniques. Analyzing your competitors' backlink profiles is one of my favorite ways to find resource pages. For example, one of my competitors is backlinko.com. So to find where he was featured as a resource, I take his domain and pop it into SEO ranking backlink checker and hit search. Then I click on the number of backlinks to get the full list of domain backlinks. Now, as you can see, Backlinko has almost 1 million backlinks. That is way too many backlinks to manually go through the list. So, to narrow down the list and improve the quality of prospects, I set filters. First and most importantly, I want to see only backlinks that I do follow. And second, I set domain trust to minimum of 50 to get only high authority websites. Alright, I still have a long list of backlinks from all kind of pages. So to narrow down the list, I can use the URL filter. Here I need to enter any word or keyword that is commonly used in URL for resource pages. And I know that such words that commonly appear in the URL of resource pages are resources, links, helpful links, best, blog, best blogs, and etc. So let's take one of these words to filter down the list of backlinks to only from a URL that features such words in it. Let's start with resources, for example. Of course, this list is not perfect, but by scanning the list, you will find plenty of resource pages. And as you can see, right off the bat, I can see already a couple of resource pages. And this is just the first page. If I keep scanning, changing the keywords in URL filter, and adding more competitors, soon I will curate hundreds of resource link building opportunities. And the second technique to find resource link building opportunities is to use Google strings in a similar way to the guest blogging strategy. Just take any of these strings, modify them to a targeted keyword and enter them into Google search. Again, you can find these strings in my article that I have featured in the description section. Also, you can use this super helpful sheet for resource page search operators. Just make a copy and use it for yourself. Simply add one or a few of your targeted keywords in the sheet, and then click on the results tab at the bottom and you will get plenty of customized search operators. And now, just click on any of the SERP links, which will navigate you to Google, and you can start analyzing the Google SERP to find resource link building opportunities. For example, right at the beginning, I can see 2 resource link building opportunities for myself, and both provided a way to contact them to request to include my website. So, these are my favorite ways to find resource pages, and now let's move to the next step. Alright, once you have your list of resource pages, then it's time to select those that can move the ranking needle for you and are not spam. So when you are vetting your list of resource pages, it's the same as with guest blogging. You want to start with pages with domain trust of at least 30, ensure they are relevant to your niche, and provide a do follow link. However, there are 2 more things that you should be extra careful when you are building links via resource pages. The first one is to avoid spammy and link exchange websites. In some cases, you might find resource pages where they require you to exchange backlinks to be included. This is against Google quality guidelines, and you certainly don't want to be associated with these websites. Remember the website I found earlier? And the second one is to avoid websites that requires payment to get featured. In many cases, this could happen to you if the website is run by a blogger. And while this is quite a common practice, I do not recommend you to do it either, as it is against Google quality guidelines to buy or sell links that pass PageRank. Once you have your list of vetted prospects, the next step is to start your outreach campaign. Again, similarly to the guest blogging strategy, you need to find an email where you should send your pitch. And as you could see, often they provide some sort of form or contact on the page to submit your blog. However, if they didn't, then you need to do some digging and find the person responsible for the blog. The best is to start with the author of the page. For example, if I want to get my website on this resource page, the best SEO blogs to follow in 2021, I need to find email of the author. So the first place I can start with is by clicking on his name to see if the author page has some contact information. Unfortunately, in this case it doesn't. The next place I can check is on the About Us page. Here I cannot find anything as well. Only he likes bad taggies. I like them too. This will help me to create a personalized pitch. Alright, so the next place I can search for his contact information is on Google. So I take his name along with the brand and pass it to Google. As you can see, right at the top I have his LinkedIn profile where I can get in touch with him. However, I usually prefer email rather than social media. But the next page is more interesting to me. The page is apollo.io and it shows me that it knows his email. So I sign up and right away I got his email. Plus, they have a Google Chrome extension to get the email address directly from LinkedIn profile. Pretty cool. I also tried hunter.io just for the sake to see if I could spare myself a few minutes, and I got a different email. Regardless, I try both and see which one is working. So here's the email I have sent it to him. Unfortunately, the email address from Hunter did not work. Of course, if you are starting with email outreach, you want to use an email outreach template. So here is mine. So take a screenshot and modify it for your needs. Of course, there are tons of more templates on the internet if you don't like this one or you feel it will take too much time and effort to personalize it. This template fits me and my personality, so I like to use it. Alright, so now when you understand the process of link building with the resource pages, it's time to ramp up the production. The first step I can give you to scale resource link building is to find somebody to make you the list of at least 100 resource pages with important information like domain trust and their overall monthly traffic. Then of course, outsource the finding of email addresses and authors' names, as that can be done for a couple of dollars and it will save you a lot of time. And there you have resource page link building at scale. Again, I recommend you do outreach yourself or only let in-house staff such as manager or head of team to do the outreach. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something new, so don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video and leave a comment below. By the way, check out all my links in the description for my favorite link building and other marketing tools. Ciao!